Craig,
Yeah.
just a little video.
What's happening?
Just thought instead of us doing a post, let's just do a video. Just to see what's going on with tomorrow.
Fuck man, I'm so excited.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like it's been building up for like forever. Like it's been a whole year. Like,
Yeah.
fuck man, we just started out as like a little podcast, and now we're doing like massive gigs, and this is going to be an awesome party. Like,
So come down tomorrow for an awesome experience.
oh yeah, man. Like, I'm so excited because like literally, there's so many awesome people already coming. So like, if you're on the fence, you should just come because we've gone to town on the sound. Like, DJs are off the charts. Like,
There's going to be some fun stuff that you don't know about.
yeah, man, it's gonna be such a good night. Like, you'd be a fool to miss it. Really, like, it's gonna be great. So come along and have a fucking great time.
Yange Beats.
Yeah, please
Look us up.
keep her lit. See you tomorrow.
Really, one thing that sort of stands out for me on the first birthday is because obviously, like, you know, I'm always a man of my word. So when Chris was like, you know, are we ever going to play techno?
Was this the geisha?
No,
No.
this was the first time we ran 2 rooms.
2 rooms at the,
Oh,
at the
the
Aberdeen.
Dane. Yeah.
So I remember we went down to the Aberdeen and the sound system wasn't great. So I think most promoters would probably save cash, but we were like, no, I wonder, because it was when the DJ booth was really high, and we were like, I wonder if we can squeeze the function ones in there. And I remember we hired it from Alusha, and we just somehow squeezed the function ones underneath it, and we wasn't big enough size to take the other downstairs room, so we thought, didn't really think about noise bleed, so we actually used the bar that was next door, and I think we set up the bus stop in there, sort of thing, and but then we all had to decide on what room we'd either in the trance room or anything else go. So.
And now it's time for the final dance, because we know what is coming when dawn breaks. The aliens and the defense of our world. There will be no second chances. We will use every weapon that we have in our arsenals, and if need be, our own bare hands. We will not lie down to die. We will fight, and we will survive. And we will be back here again, once more to listen to and feel the uplifting sounds of our favorite DJs, the Warp Brothers. We will survive.
Chris was like, yeah, great, I finally get to play techno. But what he didn't realise was, so when Craig and I was planning our sets, I was more near the end of our joint set. So I thought, right, I'll make Chris's set end just as I was coming on. So he would finish his set and then walk into the main room, and I'd just blast out. And by then it was like 140, trance. he'll walk through the doors, and he just walks through the doors, obviously, into the main room like that, and I could just see him like loving it, sort of thing. And I remember I finished my set, and I come down, and Chris goes to me, he goes, "How do I get this set?
Yeah.
How do I get this set? How do I get a bit of this?" Yeah. And I remember going to him, I'm like, "Well, mate, you've asked for techno, and now you want to come. If you come on this side of the table,
you got to play trance."
And I was like, I said, "Well, I'll put you in the main set to close on the next one, sort of thing."
Hey everyone, give it up for Joss. This guy's literally the next big thing. Like, pretty much at least half of his tunes he's made all by himself. Like, what an absolute fucking genius. So yeah, I just want to take a quick moment to say to everyone, thank you all so much for coming. It's like obviously our first birthday tonight. We would not be here tonight if it wasn't for every single one of you guys for coming along and being such fucking good cunts. I said I wouldn't swear, but I can't help myself. So I just want to take a moment to say to every single one of you, thank you so much for coming and being part of this ride. We're so grateful to every one of you guys. And let's just keep going. Let's just keep doing awesome events. You guys keep coming. We'll keep doing them. Let's see where we end up. So yeah, we're going to go ballistic here for a couple of hours of tunes. So strap in, folks, because it's going to get fucking mental.
Say about sending in a mix. I remember the week of the first birthday. That's where Marsha.
So that's how she got it. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well, she actually sent us a mix, and it, rather than just hey, this is a mix, see what you think. She was like, I've actually made a specific mix for you.
Nice.
Which is what we love.
It's more the style.
It's more like
it's the sound.
Have you actually listened to
what we do,
or sort of any of our, or sort of,
and also if you make the set about yourself, you're never going to get that flow, for the next DJ coming afterwards.
Oh, here we go.
Trilogy beats the Return of the Roo.
Return of the Roo,
which was the Matrix versus Star Wars theme.
How did that even? Where did that come from?
I remember writing some copy for this event.
Best copy he wrote.
And
was this the start of Time Oil? Was this the start of the piss?
No. This was this. I remember it was to plug our event, and it was basically just sort of saying that we're just as confused about the theme as you probably are. Because it was the Return of the Roo with like Star Wars writing, but the Matrix
background
backdrop. And I remember
because Craig and I love the Matrix.
Yeah.
That's why. I don't know why Star Wars fitted in there,
but I remember Obi, who we'd hired to do the lasers, took the theme literally.
They go
full. I remember that.
He rocked up full like Neo from the Matrix,
and
then was incredibly confused why no one else
was dressed
up.
Yeah.
Fair enough though.
Yeah, but that was really, I like that because we had the little balcony upstairs.
Yeah, so I set up the...
Okay, here's my theory. Whoever made that noise made it intentionally. So we would hear it and find him. We are. So we would hear it and find him. We are. So we would hear it and find him.
Did you play that?
I think that was the problem.
Yeah, you played balcony. Yeah.
Which actually ended up being really cool.
It was good.
Mahia opened, and I played after Mahia.
And then it was Mariah. Oh no, then it was Mariah. And then
Did Jay? Oh, Jay played before me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just quick. I remember the little upstairs balcony actually was really.
That was
cool.
good. That was pumping. Yeah, it was really good.
Because it kind of funneled everyone in.
Yeah.
Downstairs, in the main room, we'd got
Steve Hill. Well, we had Steve Hill.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And also the other thing that I think a lot of people forgot was I planned all the visuals. So there was a huge screen there, and I spent hours on this thing, you know, making sure it was like set up for the set, pictures, and it was great. The only thing I didn't think about was it was too bright for the lasers. And I remember Scully going to me, turn off the screen, and I was like, I've spent so long on them visuals. I was just refusing to do it. And because Steve Hill played for us for the first time.
He played a great set.
Yeah,
it was like proper classics.
Although you are far away, I know you'll always be near to me, near to me. Although you are far away, I know you'll always be near to me, near to me. Although you are far away, I know you'll always.
He actually remember he bought like a red pill, blue pill thing.
Yeah,
as well.
he was standing with there. I remember there's a photo of that.
Yeah, because I remember Craig and I were meant to open, and I remember thinking, do you know what, I need a night off. So I remember that was my first gig, getting on the beers and doing. I thought, do you know what, we're all set up, and I thought to myself, that's it, I'm just gonna have a really good time.
Feel your heartbeat close to me. Wanna stay in your arms forever. Only love can set you free. When we touch each other, in a state of ecstasy. Want this night to last forever. Only love can set you free.
And like, you know, I've listened to this guy mix so many times. You know,
got onto the beers.
well, it was just
Hold on, now you can't put Chris on first or last.
or last.
No.
And he told me afterwards that he's got history of going last and, you know, maybe having a few too many drinks throughout the night. Now, he didn't tell me that before. Now, I've listened to him so many times, and the thing is like, for me, when I was growing up, the first 5 years of my life was going into a nightclub, and it was always about listening to the vinyl and working out if it needs to go faster or slower if it's in the mix. So I instantly, if something's out, it doesn't matter if you're talking to me in a deep and meaningful conversation,
You
I
just
hear it. I hear it. And I remember he was so looking forward to this set, you know, he was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I remember the first mix was just slightly out. And I was like,
It's not like
that's weird. I was like, oh, at last, like, you know, he's human.
He is human.
Yeah.
And then there was a second one, and it wasn't waving at me anything. And I remember I thought, that's weird. I'm just gonna go over and check. And I remember because we were using my controller, and I went and I was like,
the infamous controller.
Yeah, I was like,
controller, man.
I was like,
It was the controller's fault.
it was
wasn't
definitely the controller's fault.
Nothing to do with the alcohol.
Definitely the best hissy fit coming up. And I remember I went up to speak to him, and I went, "You're right, mate." And he goes, "Mate, like literally channel 2 is just not working." Put the headphones on me, so I put them on. Obviously didn't check to see if there was any cords or anything hanging in, and I was just remember thinking, this doesn't make any sense. Now, obviously a good DJ adapts, so he shouldn't have just used the sync button, but he just refused to do it. And I remember thinking, I'm really, really drunk. Just called Brad over, and I remember Brad was sort of like trying to fix it too, and then he went, "Your headphones are not plugged in."
I remember I was taking photos of that night too, so I was upstairs, and I remember someone come running up going, "Oh, there's audio issues," and it's usually either Tyrrell or I that gets called for audio issues, and I've gone, I'll come running down next to Chris. And I think I heard a clanging throughout the night too. I'm thinking, oh, here we go. This is going to be fun. And he's pretty wasted. We've all had that. We've all had those sessions, right? But I remember standing next to him and listen to it. Can't hear anything. Like nothing. And I just let down, and I'm like, it's very loose. Like, and carry the, and here's the end. Like, here's the headphones end. Chris, you have to plug these in order to hear audio. It's like,
do you know what's even better? Like once I got it plugged in, it was stuck in loop mode. So I couldn't even, and I was so drunk, I couldn't disengage loop mode. So then the next like mix after that, I was like, it was fucked as well. It was like stuck in, and I was like, Paul. I was like, still couldn't get it out of loop mode.
By then, he had lost a lot of the crowd. Like I think I had to finish at 2 anyway, and like I was just sat there just thinking, oh God, I remember he just like literally just grabbed all of his stuff after the set.
So he had gone,
then just walked out, and I remember there was just this outpour of emotion in the group. Not owning up to any of his stuff, he was just saying, that's the last time I play on that controller. Like,
traumatized by the controller.
And like, to be fair, the following morning he was like, alright, okay, I'm going to take some of the responsibility here, sort of thing. And like, you actually learned to like the controller.
Of course.
now.
We should put that mix up. For
Yeah.
the listener. Yeah, that's great.